Well, hey friends, the Apple Watch Ultra 3 just dropped, and it's got some incredible new features that I want to help you figure out if this thing is even worth upgrading to, or if you're somebody who's never had an Apple Watch, is this the first one you should get? Because let's be honest, spending $800 on a watch that's gonna only last you a few years when you could go with an analog watch that, $800 is gonna last you the rest of your life. That's a pretty hard sell, but there's a reason I did it. First off, let's talk about the external on this thing. It is a 49mm grade 5 titanium case, and it now comes in two beautiful colors, the kind of neutral color, and then my favorite, the absolute beautiful black color. It's got a flat sapphire display with an extra action button on the side. The weight is 61 grams, depending on which color you get. It's like 0.2 difference. It's got water resistance to 100 meters, and you can actually dive with it to 40 meters with the included app, which is pretty awesome because it automatically detects when you go underwater. Next, let's talk about the display. This thing has an absolutely gorgeous display. It's got a wide angle OLED, so sometimes if you have a more crappy screen, when you turn your wrist, it discolors and stuff. The Apple Watch Ultra 3 doesn't do that. And because this is designed as an outdoor style watch, you need to be able to see it in direct sunlight. So it's 3000 nits of brightness, which is amazing. And then the way I have it set up is I use the action button on the side as a way to turn on a flashlight. When you're in a dark room with this thing, it lights up the entire room. Inside, it's got the S10 chip. It's a great chip. You don't really need to, it's a watch. You're not editing video on this thing. It works fantastic and perfectly for what it is. The biggest thing with that chip is it's really efficient, so you get a lot of battery out of a chip like that. And it's really helpful because it gives you on-device Siri, so you're not constantly having to communicate with the cloud to use Siri. And newsflash, Siri still sucks, so get it together, Apple. And then a massively helpful tool on this thing is the two-way satellite communication. So if you're out hiking and you get hurt, you can send text messages, you can send an emergency signal to people, and they can find you with that satellite signal, which is unbelievably cool. You gotta believe that next year when Apple does their next Apple Watch event, they're gonna have so many stories of people who would have probably died if they hadn't had this watch on. So that's a pretty massive feature. So Apple's including this for free for 2 years for anybody who buys the Apple Watch Ultra 3. And then once you're back on the grid, it's got 5G connectivity, which is really awesome to have a watch that responds so quickly to anything you need. The next thing we need to talk about, and this is my favorite thing about the Apple Watch, it's been I had the Apple Watch Series 10, it had great battery life, but the Apple Watch Ultra 3 battery is absolutely bonkers. Apple's claiming up to 42 hours of normal use. I don't use the always on display, so mine easily gets 2 days, no problem. And then here's something that's completely wild. 8 hours of use in just 15 minutes. And so, if you just top this thing off a little bit while you're in the shower, that's 8 more hours of use. That's crazy. Now, one of the coolest things with the Apple Watch is how it has made people kind of more health conscious and health aware. This new Apple Watch has ECG, SpO2, temperature sensing, irregular rhythm of your heart. It's got a new sleep score, which is built into watchOS 26, and as somebody who struggles with sleep, that's really helpful. Quick shout out to MOF for sponsoring today's video. MOF stands for Mobile Office for Travelers. They design origami-inspired portable gear that makes life easier when you're on the go. And if you want to look real good in your new Apple Watch Ultra, they have the new Snap Duo watch band that is such a smart design. Each watch band has 2 different colors, so you can change up your look almost instantly. So say you're going to the gym and you want to look a certain way, and you have the same friends at the gym and at dinner, and you want to change up the look a little bit because variety is the spice of life. You just switch around one of the bands, and all of a sudden, you got a brand new look. Now, what's cool is the magnetic closure makes it really easy to snap on. You can resize it easy and get going. It's incredibly strong and secure and quick, which is really perfect if you're swapping out between activities. Now, here's my favorite part. There's no way to connect it wrong. If you've ever tried to put on a watch band on an Apple Watch, man, just trying to figure out which way it goes is a little frustrating. This one goes on no matter which direction. So it's real fast, simple, and it's just hassle-free, which I love. It's made with soft pebbled silicone, which is lightweight, flexible, and most importantly, it's comfortable. So if you're wearing this thing all day, you're not gonna notice it on your wrist. And it has 5 different color options that you can mix and match with your outfit and with other Moft gear. So if you're ready to break the monotony and switch out your moods instantly, go ahead and check out the Moft Snap Duo watch band. So I'll leave a link in the description below where you can pick yours up. Thank you again, Moft, for sponsoring today's video and helping pay for all these iPhones and Apple Watches. Let's jump back into the video. And then kind of the big one for all of us Americans, you got hypertension, your watch is now gonna tell you, and you're gonna stress out about that too, and your hypertension's probably gonna get worse. Just kidding. This is super helpful to just kind of know. Now, this is not like putting on a cuff on your arm or going to the doctor. This is just kind of using an algorithm, sensing some stuff, and it tells you if you need to go to the doctor and get that stuff checked out. And so don't use this like if you think you're having a heart attack or something. Call the ambulance, get them to your house, help them help you. So finally, let's talk about the price of the Apple Watch Ultra. I think that's the big thing that's gonna hang people up on this. Is it actually worth $800? I mean, for 800 bucks, you're getting at the price of iPhones. You can find full-blown computers for 800 bucks. Like, you can get the M1 or M2 MacBook Air for, about that price. You could buy a whole Mac Mini for like 500 bucks. Is this actually worth 800 bucks? Great part for us, the hard part for Apple is last year's model and the year before model are still absolutely fantastic. The Apple Watch Ultra 1 looks pretty much the exact same as this Apple Watch Ultra 3, has fantastic battery life. You can still find unopened boxes of those things. And you're gonna get 99% of the functionality for a much cheaper price. Now, for anybody who has health issues and you really do need those sensors, this makes sense. It's a great buy to, 800 bucks versus your life. 800 bucks is nothing. But for the rest of us, those of us, maybe you're younger and you just like the look of it, you like the functionality, you like the extra added battery life, I think the Apple Watch Ultra 2 and the Apple Watch Ultra 1 are still such a good bet. You can find brand new ones right now on Amazon for 400 bucks. I mean, that's half the price of this thing to get 99% of the way there. Or I know somebody who's selling his for like 200 bucks right now on the used market. So you can find amazing deals out there. And the 5G connectivity is my absolute favorite feature of this watch. If you've been watching my channel, you know that I'm kind of weird in that I love technology, and I also absolutely hate technology. Like, I love getting away, not having anything with me, not having a phone, and there's been times on this channel where I've tested out e-ink displays, like an e-ink smartphone, and the issue with that is that it just doesn't live up to what I need a phone to do, and it gets me off of the Apple ecosystem, which I love the Apple ecosystem, and so having the Apple Watch Ultra and having it have cellular, I can leave the house without a phone. Like, literally the other day, I went to my son's lacrosse practice, I'm their coach, it's really fun, and I didn't want to have my phone with me, but I had full connectivity. I was able to contact my wife and kind of tell her we're on our way. That's my favorite feature, not needing to have a phone with you when you don't want it. And now the fact that the Apple Watch on watchOS 26 has the Notes app on it, I don't even need the notes on my phone. I can just use it on my watch. It's a really, really great year for those of us who don't like having phones with us all the time. So let me know in the comments below what you think of the Apple Watch Ultra 3. Is it worth the 800 bucks, or do you think it's worth going with an older Apple Watch and getting most of the way there? Let me know. Like this video if you found it helpful. Sub to the channel. We're on our way to 20,000 and you will help us. So thanks for watching, guys. I'll see you all in the next one.